Hi guys, finally some good news. Not. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, so some bad news. So I'm sure everybody is probably more or less up to date with all of the worsening restrictions everywhere. There is some pretty bad news in Spain this morning. So, I'm just gonna open up my essential item. Lidl's finest. So the Spanish government has decided to impose a curfew nationwide between, well, it depends on what region you're in, but it may be starting at 10 p.m. or it may be as late as midnight until either 5 or until 7 in the morning, the next morning. So yeah, nighttime curfew. And unlike, for example, the Irish government, which is doing the 6-week thing, and then, they will extend it by 2 weeks and then maybe another 2 weeks and on and off for who knows how long. The Spanish government are just coming out and saying this is until May. Yes, this is until May next year. The same socialist government that insisted and encouraged that the feminist marches on the 8th of March must go ahead. That march which preceded the huge spike in corona cases back in the beginning when we didn't even really know what it was, how bad, what it was like and what the danger was. The same feminists who held signs and placards reading that machismo mata más que el coronavirus. So male violence kills more than corona. And yet here we are. Here we are. You are not allowed to go out at night between 10 or 12 until 5 or 7 the next morning until May. So I will leave a link if anybody wants to read more about it. I have an article here that goes over all of the various restrictions and the differences in all the different regions of Spain. And, in Ireland and Wales, they're now restricting things that are apparently non-essential. For example, things like children's clothes and things like that, which, is just so crazy, especially at this time of year. Just for example, winter's coming. Children grow all the time. Children are bigger every year. Autumn and winter is a time when you find, maybe you go to take out the clothes from last year and you realize that they just don't fit anymore because everybody has grown an inch or two and you need to go to the shop and buy some more clothes. But no, apparently it's not essential. And, with restrictions meaning that more people have to spend more time outside queuing, going without appropriate clothing is really, it's not the right time to be doing that. I want to take a look at an article I saw yesterday, which I thought was quite amusing. I think this guy is great for doing this. He tried to get into a shop with hardly any clothes on because apparently if clothes aren't essential, then they shouldn't force him to wear clothes to enter the supermarket in the first place, where they're saying that they don't sell these non-essential items. And apparently there have been loads of people tearing down plastic wrapping that people have put that the shopkeepers have put over the non-essential items. It's just so ridiculous. When you see what's not allowed, stuff for the garden. Oh my God. Okay, I know it's winter, but still, there's a lot of stuff you can do in the garden to prepare for next year. And lockdown is a really good time to be doing that. A lot of people won't have a lot of other stuff to do. And I bet anything to do with making stuff like art and craft stuff and, I don't know, sewing maybe. They probably say that's not essential when, people, the government can't decide what's essential and non-essential to different people. Everybody's in different circumstances. Anyway, let's take a look at the article. I thought clothes weren't essential. Furious father strips down to his pants before attempting to enter Tesco in Wales in protest at non-essential items rule. So let's get straight to the article, to the main part of the article. A dad attempting to shop at a Welsh supermarket wearing just his boxer shorts and a face mask. He kept his mask on. In protest at Wales's ban on selling non-essential items in supermarkets. Chris Noden, 38, was stopped by security staff as he tried to push his trolley into the Tesco store in Newport, Gwent. Gwent, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I know Wales has some really crazy pronunciations, so apologies if it's wrong. Furious wife Dawn, 33, filmed him as he tried to access the store, demanding, "Clothes are non-essential. Let him in." Dawn tells the workers, "Clothes are deemed now non-essential. Your store's policy says clothes are non-essential. Let him in to buy some clothes. This is beyond a joke. There are children out there growing that need clothes." Exactly, that was my point. But a security guard says, guards, oh my god, do they ever proofread? I mean, this isn't the worst. I've seen worse where I could like pick out 10 errors that I would correct if I was working on the art of... Anyway, I won't get into that now. "He's not appropriately dressed. Go and take it up with the government. You can't come in dressed like that." When the staff say they won't let him in, Dawn repeats, "So clothes are essential to day-to-day life?" And the worker replies, "Of course they are." The couple were turned away, but Dawn later posted the video online saying, "Please note that no lockdown rules were broken. Nobody was put at risk. This non-essentials list is beyond a joke. Clothes aren't essential, are they, Mr. Drakeford? Chocolate, sugar, alcohol and tobacco all classed as essential items." A Tesco spokesperson said in response to the incident, "Under new restrictions set out by the Welsh Government, we are currently unable to sell non-essential items in our stores. Our colleagues have worked hard to put these measures in place, and we ask that customers please respect these restrictions." That's another point. It's a lot of work to split areas and things into essential and non-essential and to block it off. Like, that's a lot of extra work for... I mean, maybe it's not so bad in a big place like Tesco, but imagine if you just own like a small corner store and had the you probably already stressed anyway because of the COVID restrictions, because of earning less money. Maybe you've had to let some staff go. You find yourself alone having to deal with an extra task that the government has forced upon you and will probably like come down on you like a ton of bricks if you don't comply with it. It's just another I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's really bad. Dawn said she posted the message in response to mum Chelsea Jones, telling how she was unable to buy new pajamas for her hospitalized daughter, whose old clothes had got covered in blood. Chelsea said, "Please, someone tell me how it's not essential that I pop to the closest supermarket to the hospital, which is 5 minutes away, to get my daughter new underwear and pajamas as hers are soaked in blood." Chelsea was forced to make a 40-mile round trip home from the hospital in Cardiff to Winnipia, oh dear, I'm sorry, Rhondda, to get replacements. Wales was plunged into a draconian firebreak lockdown at 6 p.m. on Friday, and it is expected to wreck the Welsh economy. Yeah, I agree. Under the move, which will last 17 days, people have to stay home and leave only for limited reasons. Oh gosh, for limited reasons, including exercise, buying essential goods, or to provide care. However, some 17,000 people have signed a petition for the Welsh Government to reduce the restrictions. First Minister Mark Drakeford said the restriction was a matter of fairness, as non-essential retail has to close during the 2-week period, which began at 6 p.m. on Friday and will last until November 9th. Guidance published by the Welsh Government says certain sections of supermarkets must be cordoned off or emptied and closed to the public. God, such nonsense. These include areas selling electrical goods. Yeah, because if something of yours breaks at home, you don't need to buy a new one. Telephones. If you lose your telephone, I'm sorry, that's it. No more. Clothes, toys, and games. Yeah, because the children don't need to stay occupied and busy at home. Garden products, already mentioned that, and dedicated sections for homewares. Supplies for the essential upkeep, maintenance, and functioning of the household, such as batteries, light bulbs, and rubber gloves, can be sold during the lockdown. So here we have it on the right. They say they can't sell hairdryers, stationery. Oh, well, you can't write a letter. You can't go to other people's houses, and you can't buy a telephone. Like, if you lose one, to send an email. Now you can't write a letter either. It's just... I presume they mean stationery with an E. Because we have seen that they don't really seem to proofread anything. Kettles, phone chargers, duvets. It's not like we're coming into winter or anything. Sheets, electrical products. But anger over the rule has already spilt over, with a 28-year-old man being charged with criminal damage and breaching coronavirus regulations after plastic sheets were torn off banned non-essential in another Tesco store. Video posted on social media showed covers being ripped down at the company's Bangor outlet on Friday night after staff had tried to wrap up shelves of items to comply with rules. North Wales Police said Gwilym Owen from Anglesey has been further charged with several public order offences. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. Let me know what you think about the curfew until May. And if you have curfew in your area, and what you think about the essential, non-essential division. As you can tell, I'm not very pleased about the whole thing. Talk to you soon.